Okay, here we want to sketch the curve by using the parametric equations to plot points. Indicate with an arrow the direction in which the curve is traced as t increases. We have x, which is equal to e to the negative t plus t. Y is equal to e to the power of t minus t, where t is in between negative 2 and 2. So we're going to plug the values of t into our parametric equations. A negative times a negative 2 is going to give us a positive 2, so it's e to the second power minus 2. If we plug in negative 1, we're going to get e to the positive 1 minus 1. If we plug in 0, we're going to end up with e to the 0 minus 0. If we plug in positive 1, we get e to the negative 1 plus 1. If we plug in positive 2, we get e to the negative 2 plus 2. And doing the same thing for y, we're going to get e to the negative 2, and that's going to be plus 2. And then negative 1, we're going to have e to the negative 1 plus 1. And then we have e to the 0 minus 0. We have e to the positive 1 minus 1. And then we have e to the positive 2 minus 2. So let's go ahead on our calculator, put this information in to find the approximation. So we have e to the second power, and that's minus 2, which gives us 5.39. If we take e and then subtract 1, we get 1.72. If we plug in 0, e to the 0 is 1. 1 minus 0 is 1. And then e to the negative 1 plus 1 gives us 1.37. And then e to the negative 2 plus 2 gives us 2.14. So down here, e to the negative 2 plus 2 is the same as what we just solved, so that's 2.14. E to the negative 1 plus 1 on the top is 1.37. E to the 0 minus 0 is 1. E to the 1 minus 1 is 1.72. And e to the 2 minus 2 is 5.39. So when t is negative 2, the ordered pair is 5.39, 2.14. And when it's negative 1, it's 1.72, 1.37. When it's 0, we get 1 and then 1. When it's 1, we get 1.37, 1.72. And when it's 2, we get 2.14. And then 5.39. So let's go ahead and plot our values here. So we have 5.39. Okay, and then we have 2.14. You can see that's about approximately right there. And then we have 1.72 and 1.37. So 1.72 and then 1.37. And then we have 1 and then 1. And then we have 1.37, 1.72. And we have 5.39, or excuse me, 2.14 and 5.39. So, therefore, we're going to have this graph that goes through these points. So what does those arrows tell us? Well, when t is -2, which was our first point, and that point here is where t is equal to -2. And here is when t is equal to -1. So here is where t is equal to -1. Over here is where t is equal to 0. Here's when t is equal to +1. And here is where t is equal to 2. So now, this is our initial point, and this is our ending point. So the arrow, so we're going to go from t -2 to -1, so we have an arrow going there, and it's going in that direction, and from 0 to 1, and then from 1 to 2.